Here's an example of what a finished workflow might look like. In this example, we've taken a data set in student step form and created 3 different parallel analysis branches. The top branch fits a Java version of the additive factors model to the dataset. The middle branch fits Bayesian knowledge tracing, and the bottom branch fits a Python version of the additive factors model. Each of the boxes in the diagram are what we call a workflow component. All workflow components can be accessed in the left side menu. This student step box is an example of what we call an import component. Import components describe different formats the data can be inputted into the workflow analysis. For those who are already familiar with DataShop data, you'll recognize the student step and transaction formats, which store student usage data at different levels of granularity, and they are standard DataShop export formats. There are also many other non-DataShop formats that LearnSphere workflow inputs can take, including, for example, a format for Discourse DB data. If you want to change the selected dataset, but maintain that it is a student step dataset, you can click on the gear symbol. This will allow you the option of selecting a different dataset available through DataShop here, or to upload your own student step formatted file here. The 3 components in the middle column here are examples of analysis components. Okay. So all of these analysis components point to code for different analyses that are to be applied to the data inputs. In most cases, the components also contain options for adjusting different parameters for your analysis. For example, if I click on the gear for the Java version of AFM, I can choose the knowledge component model that is used in fitting AFM. If I click on the gear for BKT, I can choose the knowledge component model, but I can also set a variety of other details, such as the BKT solver algorithm, and, for example, the number of folds of cross-validation that I want the algorithm to do. Finally, the 3 components in the rightmost column are examples of visualization components. And in this case, learning curves were chosen to visualize the outputs of all 3 analysis pipelines. Clicking on the magnifying glass will allow us to view the learning curve outputs. Here you can see the learning curve plots. These are plots of error rates on different knowledge components across learning. The actual data are plotted by knowledge component in red, and the particular statistical models' predicted error rates are plotted in blue. You can view these same visualizations not only for the top analysis pipeline, which was the Java version of AFM, but you can also view the learning curve outputs for BKT by clicking on this tab for visualization number 2, and for the Python version of AFM by clicking on the tab for visualization number 3. Finally, you can also view other types of outputs produced by the analysis components. For example, if you click on analysis outputs for number 1, which is the Java version of AFM, you can view and download things like the actual coefficient estimates for the different parameters in the model. That's called output parameters. You can also get information such as the AIC and the BIC for that particular KC model, for that particular statistical model. That information is located in model values, and this will include any cross-validation, root mean square root errors as well. And you can also re-download the student step dataset, but with the model's predictions for student performance or student knowledge for every single row in the original dataset.